Hello, everybody. Let yourself just do a little wiggle or stretch that celebrates your presence today. It's kind of going, hello, me. Mm. And let that be a whole body welcoming. There are several verbs that I really, really like, and one of them is welcoming, another one is including. And those are all like big verbs that we think that we have to be really engaged with our muscles and with our actions. But I want to take it to the level of the power of your intention and your attention. And the circulation of your attention creates presence. And presence allows you to then create connection. And then connection allows you to collaborate, to invent, to create some new things. But the big thing was occurring to me this morning is that my attention creates safety. And it seems to me that one of the fundamental things that we keep returning to, I certainly keep returning to in this last year, especially, is how can I be a source of safety? How can I be a source of locating? How can I be a presence where people can find themselves and go, oh, here I am, here we are, that we can be together and we can create the kinds of connections that we want, not the kinds of connections that come, well, actually, lack of connection that comes from fear. So it's always possible to shift from fear to presence. Fear is going to come up again. It's not as if you're going to retire it. And I really think that fear is the big issue that we're dealing with. And it underlies all other issues. And so if I can meet my fear with my own attention, I create presence. So notice any place in you where you're feeling any flutters. So any or any frozenness or any, oh, I don't like the way this is all going and you people are all terrible, or I just can't deal with it. So notice any of those symptoms in your body and go ahead and exaggerate them for a moment. So rather, what we usually do is, ooh, we notice it and then go, ooh. So notice it and go ahead and welcome it. Exaggerate first the ooh, ooh, and then go ahead and let yourself, the love scoop is basically a welcoming. So you're reaching out and you're welcoming. So giving some love scoops to any place in you that's feeling jangly or flat or fluttery. Hmm. And even just doing that, I'm feeling some more circulation. I'm feeling some nice streaming feelings through my legs now, which felt a little clunky this morning when I was moving around. So notice for yourself what we call the symptoms of aliveness, that when you give yourself attention, my experience is that it increases aliveness, the actual experience of aliveness, not the idea of aliveness. So let yourself, hmm, yeah, create a because a opens curiosity. And take that, like I feel it mostly here. I'm going to let my hands go, and then I'm going to let them touch a place in me that doesn't feel as vibrant. So for me, that's just below my waist and back, which some people call the QL. And I'm going to on that place while giving it my attention. And then I'm going to create another and I'm going to feel that the of wonder, of curiosity. And then I'm going to give that touch. I'm feeling in my belly, which is for many people, a seat of fear, feeling a little roily. So I'm going to give some humming to my belly. And we're going to meet that touch from the inside. Beautiful. And then the other aspect of circulating your attention that creates safety is that when I'm doing loop of awareness, I get to be aware of me and aware of the space around me. So when we go into fear trance, we usually go into out, like, oh my God, or we go all the way in, like, whoa. So when I circulate my attention, it creates an ability to respond to what's going on in my environment. So I'd like you to take a moment and just let your hands do this. So letting a hand come to you and letting a hand come out. And you can do this seated, standing, or lying down, moving around the room. So when I do this, it reminds me that I can give attention to me and I can give attention out here. So, what I like to look for are a couple of different things. When I'm noticing outside, I like to look for space and for beauty. So, I'd like you to notice what are your most enlivening things to connect with, to look for. Is it a curiosity or appreciating or looking for the open space? Because we have a very big what's wrong way of using our attention. We're always looking for what's wrong. When I ask people, how are you doing? They often say, well, my back hurts, but I'm a little better. So they're looking for what's wrong. So what I'd like you to play with are one or two attitudes that you can give both to yourself and that you can look out in the world and give attention to in the world. And I like to deliberately choose those as a blueprint for my day. So I'm deliberately looking for where there's space and giving my attention to where there's space and appreciating that. Or I'm looking for where there's beauty because I can choose what I give attention to. That's one of the main skills that we're developing by doing loop of awareness is that you can choose where you're putting your attention. So I'd like you to practice for a couple of minutes adopting one of your favorite intentions. So for me, it's space and beauty. So I'm going to first notice, where am I noticing space inside me? And I'm going to let myself land on that with my attention. And then I'm going to let my body respond to my attention. So for me, that's opening up this very pleasant kind of wiggle. And then I'm going to send my attention out. And for me, I'm looking for space. And I'm noticing this wonderful archway across the street where there's this wonderful light coming through this archway. And to me, that's beauty. And so I'm giving my attention to that. And what that does is refresh my inner attention and give me much more space to notice. But then I come back to me, and now I'm going to focus on where in me am I experiencing beauty. And for some of us, that can be challenging because a lot of people go, oh, no, not me. No. We don't want to claim anything that might be too positive. So, where in you are you experiencing beauty? And let your attention land on that. And then let your body respond to giving attention to your own beauty. Yeah, wonderful. Wonderful. So your body and sound too, if you're wanting to make sound with that. And then what we forget is to circulate. The most important thing, even if it's just for a couple of seconds, is to let your attention go the other direction. So that's why I sometimes like to use the hands because it reminds me, oh, yes. So I've been practicing long enough that I can do both at the same time. I can notice beauty out there and beauty in here at the same time. That's pretty cool. That comes from practice. And the most important thing that you can do, excuse me, I'm going to take a drink. The most important thing that you can do is to simply circulate your attention. It's so powerful to get flow going. Now, if you run into something like, that's a time for love scoops. So you can then add in the love pool, feeling your feet in your own personal love pool, your own love kiddie pool. And I like to let my feet sort of paddle and make waves in my little kiddie pool. And then I reach out and I bring love in and actually connect it to any place in me where I'm feeling flat or stuck. Hmm. And then I can let that love, can send it out into the world like a butterfly or a hummingbird. We saw two hummingbirds in the front yesterday who were having a little territorial turf war. And it was just hilarious because, hummingbirds are tiny, but they're very fierce. And so they were both protecting their space and saying, no, this is my space. No, this is my space. So any place in you that you have any little territorial disputes going on, like I'm not going to give you attention unless you get thinner. I'm not going to give you any attention unless you get less wrinkled. I'm not going to give you any attention until you're perfect. That's the place that wants love scoops. So the combination for me that works so well is just combining circulating attention and then bringing in more love. And you might think, well, I can just keep bringing in more love. But when you bring in love, you might be filling up your reservoir more than the pipes are willing to hold. So you need to do a little movement to make space for all that love you're giving yourself. Yeah. So, how can you make space inside and around you for more love, for enjoying more love, and especially for being willing to receive more love? Hmm. Because we get from fear to love through presence. And I really think of love as being able to be in the same space with. And I can create more space to be in the space with. And as I give attention, I find that I create more opening, I create more possibility, create more inventiveness. So, just for a minute or so, let yourself play with different ways that you can use your body to send attention out and to send attention in and to receive that. Moving our bodies has become very regimented. You can move your body in certain ways, but other ways are like, so this is one place where I want you to include all kinds of crazy body. This is weird body time. So just go ahead and let your body do all of the weird stuff that you wouldn't do out on the street. Yeah, beautiful. Great. And if you get inspired by some weird thing that somebody else is doing, try it on. That's part of the fun of playing with each other. Yeah. And notice how your weirdness creates more aliveness. So just take a moment now and appreciate your experimenting and seeing if you'd be willing to bring a little bit more weirdness into your day-to-day life. Just a little bit, so that's a gentle stretch. It's not a going they're going to haul me off, but a a just a little disruption of the way that we follow along the script. So interrupting the script this week with circulating your attention and loving your own particular weirdness. Yes, and from all of that, we create more freedom, since that's kind of what we've been celebrating here over the last couple of days here in the States. Although I know some of you are not from the States, and that may be good right now. So, thank you so much, and much love to you all. I'm going to say goodbye now, and you're welcome to stay in dialogue, and lovely to see your faces. And so until next time, mwah.
Thank you, Katie.